All right, now let's talk about how to properly hold the flute. Now that you've learned how to assemble it, it is very important to know how to hold it. Holding the flute can somewhat be a challenge, but it does not have to be. I'm going to show you what I call a 3-point system that if you hold it this way, it will make it a lot easier to play it. Okay? So, what we want to do is create with our right hand somewhat of a cradle. And now when I say cradle, I want you to think of like holding a baby. Like when you hold a baby, you're holding the baby up. You're cradling the baby so the baby won't fall. And so with our left hand, that's some of what we're doing. Okay? This part, if you can see it, this part, the side of my pointing finger of my left hand cradles the actual flute. Okay? My first finger goes right here. And so if you can see how this part, the side of my finger, is cradling or holding the flute up, okay, like this. And notice how my finger is turned somewhat to the side, okay. Now look how I'm holding the flute. So I'm somewhat holding it like that, if you can notice. So the weight of the flute is on that part of my finger. So that's the first point. Okay, we're going to talk about the 3-point system. So this is the first point. All right. Now, the way you turn the actual hole of your flute will affect how much you can cradle it. So this is one reason why when I play, I do not have the hole that you blow into in perfect line with the actual keys, if you can see that. Okay, I do not do that. I actually turn the hole towards me a little bit more. Okay, and what that allows me to do is to cradle the flute a little bit better. Okay, so when I turn it towards me a little bit, I can cradle it better with my left hand. But if I had the hole right in line with the keys and I put it up to my chin, notice that that cradle is not there. It's kind of like on the outside of the flute, but I need to be somewhat up under it to hold it up. But if this is in line with the keys, notice how this part of my finger is on the side of the flute, and I can't hold it like that. Okay, so it makes it awkward to play these keys because it's sliding down. But if I turn this towards me a little bit more, I now can hold it up, and now I'm somewhat cradling it with this part of my finger again. So that's important. All right, now the second part is what I do with my right hand, and in particular what I do with my thumb of my right hand. Okay, now you would normally think, well, just put your thumb under the flute and hold it up. But actually with this 3-point system, you don't put your thumb under the flute, you put your thumb under the post. Okay, look at how I have it. Okay, and then what you do is push forward with your thumb. Okay, now let me show you why. Notice that my thumb is not under the flute, but it's somewhat on the side of it, and I'm pushing forward. So once I put my fingers in place, 1, 2, 3. Now notice where my thumb is now. Right up under that post. Not under again, but under that post. And now I have one point right here where I'm cradling the flute, another point with my thumb where I'm pushing in a sense, the flute forward. And then it brings us to the third point, my chin. And so now I'm pushing the flute forward. I'm cradling it with my left hand. And notice now, when I push it with my thumb of my right hand, the flute is a lot more stable and it's against my chin. Now notice that. You see that? The cradle is here. I'm pushing it forward with the thumb of this hand. Okay, and again, my thumb is right under that post, and I'm stabilizing it with my chin. Okay, see that? So that way, when you're playing, the flute is not moving all around and it's awkward, and that makes it very difficult to play the flute if it's not stable in your hand. So you have to practice holding it and keeping it stable so your fingers can freely move around and you can play the notes however you need to. Okay, you notice how my fingers are free to do whatever I need and want to do, and it's because of this 3-point system. Okay, and this is the correct way to hold your flute.